systems. The empathic individual often asks, why am I like this? But they rarely ask the more terrifying question, whose pain am I carrying? You must understand, the unconscious does not respect individual boundaries. The ego would like to believe in the sanctity of the self, but the unconscious knows no such limitation. In dreams, in symbols, in bodily tremors, it speaks the language of the collective. And the empath is its translator. I have observed through decades of clinical practice and mystical inquiry that empaths frequently mistake their sensitivity for personal damage. They assume they are broken when in truth they are permeable to forces that others are simply too numb to perceive. This misidentification is not a failure. It is part of the initiation, for one must descend into the underworld of confusion before they can emerge as the carrier of truth. And the underworld, the realm of shadow, is not merely metaphorical. It is a real place in the psyche, a place populated by what I call autonomous complexes, semi-independent psychic entities born of trauma and repression. These entities are not imaginary. They act with will. They seek expression, and when they are denied, they project themselves onto the world. The empath, with their porous boundaries, becomes the unwilling host of these projections. They feel the shadow not just of one person, but of families, communities, cultures. But herein lies the power. For if the empaths can endure, if they can stay with the discomfort long enough to understand it, they become alchemists of shadow. They become the ones who do not run from the darkness but transmute it. This is not healing in the conventional sense. It is revelation. And revelation is always uncomfortable, always destabilizing, always disruptive to the fragile fantasies of the ego. The collective shadow contains racism, war, genocide, betrayal, abuse, yes. But it also contains brilliance, erotic power, untamed joy, and sacred knowledge, long buried. The empath, when they awaken, does not merely weep for suffering. They weep for the forgotten genius of the soul. They ache not just from cruelty, but from the loss of the ecstatic, the holy. The instinctual. To awaken the collective shadow is to make visible what the culture refuses to see. The empath becomes a psychic reflector, not by choice, but by design. And this design is not a curse, it is a covenant. A soul contract forged before incarnation, often misunderstood until the second half of life, when the persona begins to crack and the true self emerges from the ruins of adaptation. Many of you in this room, those who have felt too much, carried burdens too heavy, being called too sensitive or too dramatic. You are not here to repair the brokenness of others. You are here